Hello, my name is Tabs and welcome to episode 99 of the Growth Podcast. Who'd have thought of that, eh? One pod away from our century. But yeah, it's a bit nuts if you ask me. Anyway, it's Friday and I hope you're all doing well and looking forward to the weekend. Look, in today's pod, it's a bit of a special one. I mean, we will be doing a preview of the Newcastle game taking place on Sunday. But before that, this week, as many of you will know, Arsenal put on an open training session at the Emirates on Wednesday, and about 2,000 fans went to watch the players and coaching staff in action. And it was sort of a chance for fans to see behind the curtains, so to speak. Well, lucky for us, one of our Grove members, one of the Grove, was fortunate enough to be there. But not only was she there to watch, she actually got on the pitch, got in and amongst it, putting shots past Raya, turning Saliba inside out and high-fiving Ethan and Miles. So what an experience. And to tell us all about that experience is Senzi. Welcome to the pod.
Hello.
How are you?
Me, I'm fine, thank you.
And who's playing up front on Sunday?
Oh God.
And did you get any insights? Were you part of the team talk? But,
I'm still in shock after everything that's just happened, and I think everybody else knows I was in shock. But it was just such a bizarre experience as well.
Well, tell us about it. So obviously, you went along, and there's three other people there, but most people were in the stands. But a few of you got pitch side. So how did you get selected to go pitch side and actually get on the pitch?
Like, it's crazy because I have this really bad habit of like going to events like early, like hours early, because I'm considering like the train, and my anxiety makes me go places really early. So I was at the stadium like 40 minutes early or so, and then go through the bag checks and stuff. I'm just sitting in my seat, and then I think this media woman just approaches me, and she asked me my age because I don't think she thought I was old enough to even like be considered to go. But she was like, "How old
are your parents here?"
Yeah, I was just there like, I'm like 23, but yeah, go on. And then she was like, "Do you like wanna come pitch side and like just be there like training the players and stuff?" And I was like, why would you ask that to like somebody that's just specifically come? I was like really excited about it, and I was just like, yeah, I want to go. And then she was like picking different people from around, like who came early, and I was just there like, I'm thanking myself like mentally for coming early to this.
Wow. Well, there you go. It pays to be early.
Yeah.
I know what that feeling's like. So say, yeah. I mean, come on pitch side. So we were expecting, you're just going to be watching a bit closer. But you
Yeah.
said that. Oh, do you want to come on and help train the players?
Yeah.
What? Tell me about that. What did that mean? What did that entail?
So I think there was about 13, 14 of us, and we were like put in like three groups. Like
Yeah.
there was like a few going at the beginning, then a few going like mid training, and then some at the end. I was kind of lucky enough to be the ones at the end because
Okay.
that was when more of the players were like into it. And like there was me and like two other fans. I think they came overseas from like America.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was speaking to them, and like, it was like, wow, we're like standing here with like Saka, Trossard, Skelly, Ethan, and then there was Zinni, and then Mourinho, and then Setford was in goal, and like they were practicing like shooting and stuff. And then I was lucky enough to like have like the Hale End area part. So I was like speaking to them, and it didn't feel real to me that they were like, they know my name tabs, and they were asking me like, hi, and they felt more excited than I was, and I was just in pure shock.
Well, you're older than them as well, You're
Yeah.
older than many of the Hellenders, yeah.
And then I was just there like, this doesn't feel real to me. And I'm like, I don't want to like show them I'm fangirling inside a little bit, but I was just there like, wow, like I'm here. And then I did feel a bit for Darwin, who was in like the stands, and I was just there like, I probably should have told him I was coming in early, but yeah.
Oh, but you said, do you want to help train the players, or were you just literally standing there, or were you actually telling them what to do? Right, see that cone over there? Go around that twice. Run to
No,
this
I
one.
was really getting into it actually. I was just there like, I'm just gonna use this opportunity to like be here and like
Yeah.
just help them like shoot and stuff. I mean, it's crazy that these guys like Ethan and Skelly are like 18, and like I was watching them and I was like, this is crazy. They're so young, but they're so into it, and like it just doesn't feel like I didn't even have to do much. Like they were just getting it in and in and in, and I was just there like, wow, okay, this is the level. Like
I mean,
yeah,
this is the thing. I mean, how was it? Because we're used to watching in the stands, and you know, and they make the beauty is they make it look easy. And how was it? How was it close up? Could you sort of feel the power? So when they're shooting and stuff, the pace of what they do things at, and the power they put into it. Could you really sort of like, wow, you know, and could you really see the technique involved? Because like when you're further away, you don't notice it so much, but when you're there, could you get a sense of the power, the technique, the skill they were implementing when they're shooting or whatever it is that they're doing?
no, yeah, it's like from the younger players as well. Like as I said, like Skelly and Ethan, you could just see how much it means to them and how much they want it as well. And also Saka, just like it's like big bro with little bros, and I was just like I could just feel that energy, and I was there and like joining in on this conversation. I felt like I shouldn't be there, but I'm here with you guys, like saying some this good energy.
So what was it they were saying to each other? Or how was it? How was it? What was the communication like? Or what was it they were chatting about
I
when they're
think
on there?
it was
What is it
like
you could hear them talking about?
it was like because it was a competition between like Trossard, Saka, and then Skelly and Ethan. They were like bantering each other and like just putting each other off as well. Like Saka was like behind Ethan trying to like, and then you could just tell Ethan was getting annoyed with him, and then it was just Skelly was there as well, just like gassing Ethan up, and yeah, it was just wow. These are just normal guys, like,
Well, they're not. Well,
well, they're not normal, but like they
they're not.
act
They're
normal.
not that normal.
Yeah, they
No,
act
but
normal. They're just
yeah.
yeah,
Well, this was the thing. I think this we were saying beforehand is sort of like they're just blokes. They're just human beings, but it's just in a weird environment. We sort of idolize them. We watch them. You sort of feel like you know them, but don't obviously
yeah,
and know them. And I guess you had a bit of that imposter syndrome. Well, why am
yeah,
I here? But they must have felt. It seemed like from the pitch and stuff, they made you feel welcome. It's not that they were doing anything. So why are they here? They seemed like they were embracing the fact that they were engaging with the fans and allowing the fans to get an insight into what they do on a day-to-day basis. Did you sort of feel that they didn't mind you being there?
yeah. I got that from also Odegaard and Declan as well because they were smiling, and I think I was still in shock from. It just didn't look like I was comprehending any of it because I did like because I do YouTube on the side
Yeah.
and I did vlog some of this day. And looking back on the footage that I got and stuff, like there were things like building up to like going in the stadium and stuff, like looking at them like outside and then commenting like, oh, it's Odegaard over there. Like I didn't like it feels like I've manifested this. Like I'm now here next to you and like you're all like normal and being nice and stuff. And like even like in the group chat somebody commented like Declan looks so smiley in that. I'm just there like, yeah, he does, and I look like I'm not like meant to be in, like near you.
But I guess they do this to make the fans feel more connected to the club, to the players. I'm getting a sense you got a bit of that. It did feel like you know they were trying to build that relationship with the fans. Not that it needs building and stuff, but just trying to I don't know, yeah, trying to normalize some of this stuff, or just trying to like just to engage with the fans, just to say see what it's like, see what they have to do. Did you get a sense of that?
Yeah, because even though we were specifically selected, the other like 2000 like in the other stands,
Mm,
they were actually going there like in front of them and
mm,
like I did like hear that they were signing balls and stuff
mm,
and like just chucking it in the stands and like
mm,
getting like pictures with the fans and stuff. So it was like they they're like inviting you to this and like showing that they really do care and like they're trying and like it just makes everyone's day like
yeah,
better knowing that oh this is a thing that the club do and it's like family and morals and like yeah.
and and what about the coach? Was it just the players, or did you interact with the coaches as well,
Oh, I
or
got a picture with Arteta too and it was just that like wow, just that like just so like it's like he's so tall. I got a picture with Big Gabby as well, and like he was just there like signing stuff, and I was just there like I'm just gonna try get everybody I can, and like wow.
And they were very happy to engage. I guess they're there to have that. So I'm sure it felt like a bit awkward asking for pictures, but then, well, why else? Why am I not? Why am
Yeah.
I here then? Sort of thing.
It didn't actually feel awkward because it was like
Okay.
Arteta was like one of the nicest as well. No matter how many of us were there, he took
Yeah.
his time and he was just
Yeah.
like making conversation with us, and like even when we were like on the dugout bench,
Yeah.
he when I noticed like when he came out, he like waved to us and he was like good morning and stuff, and like I was just there like wow, like this is how it is, just that like he's just acting completely normal, and like it's like wow.
They were going very PR heavy. So, was there was there any particular player that stood out during the training session that you saw? So, oh wow, I can really see some of the skills he's displaying, or the power, or his physicality, or just were there any particular players that stood out during the training session? So when you're watching them doing their things, was there anyone stood out as like either as a surprise or just wow, yeah, what an athlete.
I mean, I did mention Ethan and Skelly, but
Yeah,
then there was also Keller as well because I had that brief conversation with him, and like I know he's had like injuries and
yeah,
stuff, and like he was with Georgie, and before I took a picture of Georgie because like he had knee wraps like
yeah,
on him, like I think it was like one leg or both sides. I don't recall, but like he's tall, but like I was like I'm just stood there, but you could tell that he really wants to like redeem himself like come next season, and he really loves the club, and like you could like I feel like I shouldn't have been like talking like it was just like a normal conversation with two people, and like I was there like okay, fair enough. Like, because I know he's been doing modeling on the side, and
yeah,
I can't lie, that's annoyed me a little bit, but because like he's just there. I was thinking like in the chat we had stuff like, is he here to model or actually play and stuff? But I'm thinking if this helps him like with his mental health and
yeah,
stuff like, on the side, do modeling, and then come next season, he's actually like without the injuries, he turns out to be like fantastic, good enough. Like, but you can tell that he really, really wants to play. Like
yeah.
from the conversation I had with him, like I'm kind of gutted I didn't get a picture with him, but I mean, I got to have that conversation with him, and I can tell that he really like wants to play.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just nuts. Yeah, it feels like it. I know. Initially, I thought, oh, does it feel like you're earwigging on their conversation? But then the fact that you end up chatting with him and about
Hmm.
how he's feeling at the moment, what he wants to do in the future, it's like I guess it's just like a very privileged position, and I wonder if they have to be on their guard though, because just in case who they're talking to and what they say, just in case. But no, it's great to see that. And from what they were doing, so was it still actually a proper training session? So did it still feel like no, they are preparing for the Newcastle game. They're setting themselves up, doing drills, doing whatever coaching sessions. That it wasn't just a PR day for the fans. Did it feel like there was a sense of it was still serious business? We've got a job to do on Sunday. We've got a game to prepare for. Did you also get a sense of that? Was there still an element of that to the training session?
Oh yeah, at the beginning, yeah. Like okay, maybe near the end, it was like a little bit more get the fans involved. Like
Yeah,
we got to like go sign stuff and that. But you can tell at the beginning it was very heavy in terms of they were doing drills, like running around, like actually like just doing elite stuff, and I was just there watching like wow, this is how it is like because usually before games and stuff, if I'm early, you do see them training and stuff, and
mm,
it doesn't feel like that real. It feels like a bit on the weaker side, but when they did like do the training event and stuff at the beginning, it did feel very heavy and like wow, like these are elite athletes, like they're not joking around or messing about, because you could hear the coaches yelling at them and stuff. And I was just there like, yeah, this is not just like a PR event, it's actually
yeah,
like getting ready for Newcastle. And you can tell that they want to win because it's
well,
the
of course.
last home game season, and like it would be nice to get 3 points after what we've like had these past weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and obviously, I guess you see, again, this is it. I think it's a bit like whenever you're in the front row of the Emirates, you suddenly realise the pace at which they do everything, and the ability to the close control and the pace and just and the movement and the power. So again, you're even just that one step closer to that to see that, and then I think that's really what takes people aback. 'Cause again, from afar, it all looks very, very, very easy, and but yeah, when you're that close, and so how long was the session? How long were you there for?
Um, so obviously I got there at like 10:20,
Yeah.
and I think because we were the last ones to kind of like leave after the fans because we had to go like round the pitch side, and like
Okay.
that's where like I met Darwin afterwards, and then I think it was like about 12:45 coming to 1 that I
Oh
kind of
wow.
like we kind of like left
Oh, so a good
because
two
we were
three
all
hours
kind
then.
of huddling about trying to
Yeah.
like get who we can to like take photos and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, that's a good time. And what about? And I think someone asked this in the Grove WhatsApp chat was like, how did it feel to be like in the middle of the pitch and you sort of just scanning around the stands? Did you sort of get? I don't know. Did it make you feel scared? And could you imagine playing there week in week out? And just did it just feel huge? Yeah. Or did it feel quite big?
I don't think I even saw that message because of how like
Oh,
excited I was. I apologize to everybody on the
no, it's
Grove.
fine.
Like I
Oh,
did,
don't worry. Look, we know that you were fangirling and you were just
yeah,
sort
I
of
was
like,
just there. Like,
yeah, your
but
jaw was
I
dropping
did
every
do
5 minutes.
like a big turn, and I was just there. Like I've dreamt of this since I was like a little kid, like a little girl, like going with my granddad to games and stuff. And I was, I feel like again with the manifestation thing, like I've always wanted to do this, and like I've always like wanted to like be there mid pitch, but it feels like so surreal, and you can hear like the fans screaming at the players, and then just the players acting so normal as well. So I was just there like, this isn't what I expected, but this is kind of like better than what I expected because I wasn't giving myself too much hope on like, would I meet these guys? Would they be like friendly and like all like family like vibing? But then I was just there like, wow, I've experienced this, and like you can tell that I'm still not processing
Yeah, no,
everything. Yeah,
definitely you can sense the excitement
like
in your
my
voice.
family were even so jealous. They were just there like,
I bet.
wow, I just have to tell this to so many people now.
Well, of course, of course, and but that feeling. So when you did that 360, sort of to see this, did it feel like imposing? Could you imagine what it was like if it was full up? And did it just sort of like, my God, the goal looks so far away from here, and that they cover the ground in nanoseconds. Did you get a sense of the scale of it all, and just a little bit of what it might be to be there on a match day?
Yeah, it was like I feel so small in front of everybody just there. Like the goal was huge. I was just there like, this is what the grass is like. Just there like, oh gosh. Even like when like the sprinklers were on and stuff, I was just there like, wow, I get to like experience this. And because it was a good sunny day as well for it to
Yeah, it
happen,
was.
it was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay. And did they use the whole of the pitch, or was it only just a part of it? I couldn't work out like how much of it, or was it just sort of like sectioned off? It was only like one half, or were they literally training across the whole pitch?
I felt like there were more in the middle, but like the
Right. Okay.
goalkeepers came out
Yeah.
first and they
Yeah.
were like more on this side, like the
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
the right. And then on the left, it was like more the players and like in the middle-ish. But we were
Okay.
more, I'm confusing myself here, the right or the left, just the
It
like,
doesn't really matter, but they generally use.
yeah,
Okay.
they,
Oh, so this.
they
Yeah.
changed it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And did you actually get to kick a ball? Did you actually get to like actually do anything, or were you just
I mean,
chatting and pointing, or
I was
or
more,
did you test David Raya, see if he was going to
no,
jump out of the way?
it was more Setford there in the
Oh,
goal.
okay.
Like, not gonna lie, I didn't want to like embarrass myself, so I was just stood back, like I'll just stand
Okay.
back and like help you guys and coach you guys.
Oh, were there other people? So were there other fans that were on the pitch actually?
Yeah, there was two more of us, like
Yeah.
because we were the last groups, like we got to like.
But were they actually taking shots and dribbling around and using the balls at all?
I think one of them did, but like most of us were too shocked to even like bother these guys because I think they were taking it seriously as well,
Yeah,
like
of course.
in preparation. So yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you
So
could just see some of us like shaking Odegaard's hand, and like we were commenting on it, like this is like doesn't feel normal.
yeah. And so what was your most memorable part of the day? What was the biggest sort of takeaway that you would from your time doing that? What's the one moment
Um,
that sort of stands out?
I think there were two. The fact that I met Odegaard, obviously, because that he's my favorite. Like
Okay.
I've always told people I really want to meet Odegaard. Like despite him not having that great of a season, like things that have been said, like I am like super grateful he's our captain, and like it's just that like when I met him, I was just like this doesn't feel real, and he's so lovely, and like you can just tell like he's quiet, but he's just our captain, and there's a reason why he's our captain, and like every time I like buy a program, you can see his notes, and like I'm just there like this is why he's our captain. Like
Mm.
he like analyzes things differently and like comments on stuff, and like he wants like us to do well each season, and like yeah.
He has a
And
certain
then there
presence.
was also the group picture, that group picture with like Trossard, Skelly,
Oh,
Saka, Ethan, and
yeah.
that Allosaurus at the back. That was
Yes.
like memorable for me because it was Saka that actually like said she just want us as a group, and I was just there like, yeah, yeah, let's just take it as a group. Yeah, I just want us
Oh my
to
god,
take it as a
yeah,
group.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Saka, Saka, actually, while you're at it, can you just get everyone else, please? So
yeah, just everyone else in it. He was super lovely, like down
yeah,
to earth guy. Yeah,
yeah. He is. He is. He's our star boy. Our star boy is. Yeah. No. And if you don't mind, I might use that as the picture
yeah,
for
that's fine. That's fine with me.
the socials. So very very good. Oh, well, look, it does sound like a special experience, and you're very privileged, very lucky. So and and uh, and yes, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that would have liked to have been in your shoes. So no, who knows? Maybe they'll do it again, and everyone's going to be turning up at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and
The
they're
fact
going to
that
have their homemade posters. Pick me, pick me.
I don't want to make it a sob story or anything, but I
No,
wasn't gonna come because, like, again,
yeah,
I have these on and off days, like with my mental health and stuff. And
yeah,
I've said this about like my time at university doing that dissertation and like doing all my assignments on like football and Arsenal in general.
yeah,
Like, it feels like a really wow, like I'm fangirling, but it's like
yeah,
a wow moment. Like, I've written about you guys, and like basically my whole degree is about Arsenal. Like,
yeah.
I made it into like Arsenal. Like, it feels like I'm like a cheerleader for this club. I'm like just there, like,
We all are.
and then the
No,
fact my
well,
mum also coerced me into going as well. She was just there, like,
no,
this is like a thing that they don't do regularly, so
yeah.
you have to go. Like, I was just like, I
Yeah,
just
if
like
you,
love
if you
it.
if you've got the chance and you're able to and you're free to do it, I mean, yeah, I completely forgot about it. Yeah, and also I've got work, so yeah, so that's it. But no, if you've got the chance, and look, it's never easy because even these sort of things you like can be a bit nervous and what about this, what about that. So no, good on you for for
Yeah,
for getting yourself out there, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, and you should have brought your dissertation with you. So, oh, look, I've written about you guys. If you fancy,
yeah,
if you
I'm
fancy
thinking
something
about
to read on the coach,
yeah.
then then here you go. So hey, maybe you can do your masters on the training day, and and there we go. So well, look, that yeah, I said fantastic, and sorry, Darwit, your experience wasn't really up to scratch to get you onto the pod. So
I
so
do feel hella bad for him because he's the one that booked the tickets as well, and like, oh dear.
always the way. Well, apparently he got his scarf signed, which I still don't quite understand the mechanics of getting a
Yeah, he
scarf
also
signed.
got a picture with Tierney, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We saw Kieran. I didn't see the plastic bag, but we saw Kieran. Kieran is yeah, that picture on the chat. So yeah, so we all lived vicariously through you and your pictures on on
yeah.
on the chat, and it's yeah, you can tell that you're still like you can pick that
Yeah.
chin up now.
Oh, I was
It did
just
happen. It was real, and they are normal folk, and I'm sure we'll be cheering them on Sunday when we take on Newcastle, and
yeah,
you'll be there, and it will give you a different perspective when you see them now. So when you've seen
yeah.
them and you've been there, so oh yeah, I know, yeah, yeah. No, that's not what you were doing in training, Saka. Come on, do better.
We'll
Oi,
do
do what I told you to do on Wednesday. So with the game, as we always do. So we'll do a bit of a preview. So what are you looking forward to with regards to the game, and not looking forward to as far as Newcastle on Sunday's concerned?
I think what I'm not looking forward to is like we've had these injuries and then Mourinho suspended. That kind of ended me when that red was given. And then I mean Trossard, Declan, Kai, they were in training, so it's like
How were they like training properly, intensely, or could you tell they were maybe holding back?
I mean, you could tell they were training intensely, but it's
Yeah,
like I feel like Kai was holding a bit back because he's
yeah,
just been bought into it because there
yeah,
was like a huge thing where they were just like introducing him back in the team and stuff, and then he was like doing little drills here and there, and like you could tell he was at the side for a bit of
right,
it. Yeah,
okay, yeah,
so I don't think he's going to be rushed into it too much.
no. And so, what are you looking forward to as far as the game's concerned?
Obviously, seeing you guys because like I haven't seen, I don't think I've been to like a proper meetup like this season. So seeing you guys, and also because it's the last game of the season, I like the ending where like the players just go round with like their
Yeah,
families and stuff. That's like a tradition for me, just
yeah,
seeing that.
lap of appreciation. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's yeah. For me, you're right. Last game of the season. Hopefully, be a nice day. Be a bit of a fun atmosphere. Catching up with the Grove beforehand, and yes, and hopefully the team can give the fans a nice send off. I think, as you said, I'm the same. That in terms of not looking forward to, again, not sure on the injury front, who's fit, who's not fit, and to face a sort of relatively informed Newcastle who can be
Mm.
robust, shall we say, to be very generous. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult fixture. It's an important fixture, I think, for both teams. And you never want to end the home season with a loss. So yeah, it's going to be tricky. I think everyone's going to be up for it. 4:30 kickoff, so people have had a couple of drinks. So yeah, it should be fun. I mean, look, in terms of how we will approach the game, you say, well, it sounds more positive on the Rice and Leo front. Marino is suspended. Timber wasn't in training. I think Timber wasn't in training, was he? I think he was.
No, he
Yeah,
came out with
yeah,
Gabby, but
yeah. They're in civvies, weren't they?
yeah.
And what about Ben White? He was obviously there, but again, he's still not 100% match fit. Saka, is he 100%?
I feel
Uh,
like Saka is like because the level of intensity he was going at, I was just the,
yeah,
like, you look healthy there. Just the like,
yeah.
fingers crossed you're like good for Newcastle. Just the like,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I think that would have been one of the questions I would have been asking. So, like, how is the squad shaping up for Newcastle? That would have been
mm,
interesting to see if they would have provided any insights on that. But yeah, no. But against a physical side like Newcastle, they've got strength. I mean, uh, I would rather. Would you risk Rice for this versus Southampton? Do you risk Trossard? But then again, who else do we have?
yeah,
So it's going to be a tricky in terms of lineup against a big team. So in terms of the top five battle, I think we're 98% guaranteed to get top five, but there is still a
yeah.
scenario that we could end up sixth.
Oh,
Um, you know, this is an important game. I mean, if we lose, Newcastle would go above us. So we're second at 68 points, plus 33. Newcastle are third on plus 66. City are fourth on plus 24. Chelsea fifth with 63 on plus 19. Then you've got Villa on 63 with plus 7, and you've got Forest 62 plus 12. So I think a win pretty much guarantees us second. A draw, I think, guarantees us third because it's Newcastle. So just unless there's a massive, uh, change in goal difference. But yeah, I mean, how do you feel about where we finish in the top five? Does it matter to you just as long as we get top five, or do you really want us to get second?
I really do want us to stick with that second place. Like,
Mm.
even though people have been bantering us like all over social media, I've even had to like leave social media for like a good week or so, like because of the hate watching and everything I've seen around us. Like, we're so hated, but like I do want us to like keep that second place. Like, even though they're going to call us bottlers like again and again and again, but I'm just there like, well, you can't really say we're bottlers because it's like consecutively we've like finished like second and like we're still fighting to get that first spot. Unfortunately, like injuries have come this season and like things have happened, but like relatively we're still second.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be second, yeah, the second best team than the third or the fourth best team,
Yeah.
and especially, given the season City have had, you don't want to finish below them because
Mm.
they've had a relatively mediocre time of things. Uh, yeah, Newcastle, I think they've been invigorated by their Carabao Cup win. I think they've been and since then I think they've just been on a decent run of form, and in fact was it the last. I think their last 8 games, they've won 6, drawn 1, lost 1. Scored 16 and only let in 4. So, it's going to be tough, and they seem to have they seem to be our kryptonite, especially this season. We've played them 3 times, and we haven't scored a goal against them, and they've scored 5 against us. And it seems like they have a style of play that just
Like
they
charged up energy.
yeah. I mean, they can be. I think they play on the limit of physicality, and often go over it. But for some reason, they get away with it. There's something about that team that, well, I don't know. Maybe you just can't book and send everyone off, so you just don't book or send anyone off.
Yeah.
But then they've also got dynamic players. Like they've got Isaac, they've got Gordon, Tonali, that can cause you are an attacking threat. So yeah, it's a tricky team to play against. It'll be interesting again to see Isaac close up, and everyone's going to be just sort of like wishful thinking. And
Well,
I mean, do you think there's any chance that we get Isaac? Because it looks like Newcastle will get Champions League.
yeah, I'm thinking he. I feel like he's going to stay if they get Champions League. I mean, they're basically guaranteed it now.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be wishful thinking he'd come to us, but I feel like it's like he's adapted to that team, and like
yeah,
it's like why? I'm thinking in the back of my head, why would he want to like leave when he's guaranteed Champions League?
yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's like I've taken it so far. I can go to another club and get Champions League. Um, God, if you thought TAA getting booed,
Oh, dear.
Isaac, oh my God, Isaac might not be welcome back north of Watford. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think you give it one go with Newcastle. And then in terms of then our summer business, just would you try and chase? Would you, if there was an inkling of us getting him, would you pursue that over getting someone earlier, like Gyökeres, like Sesko, like Watkins, or do you think no, let's not sacrifice what we can get for what might be a wild goose chase? Would you rather we just get the business done early on a striker rather than chase Isaac, or do you think if there's an inkling we should go all out and see what happens?
I feel like because he's prem proven, it's like we know what he's capable of. We've seen him, and like I don't kind of want to risk it from what I've seen in the past, but like also don't get the business done late because we've seen this time and time again. Like the seasons we've asked for like a striker, we never get one, and like it's always dragged on, and it's kind of made me mad in a sense. Like
Mm,
every window we've had, like I've been very disappointed and like inside just like disheartened when there's no striker. Like okay,
yeah.
uh,
No, I agree. I think, yeah, I don't think it's happening, and I think we should just sort of like get what we can get done and get it done early, and
yeah,
then move on from there. So, I mean, Newcastle. We've got injuries. Newcastle have got a few. I think Joe Linton's out, Willock is out, Trippier's out,
Trippier's
Lewis
out.
Hall, Target. I think Botman might also be out, so they may not be full strength. So yeah, it's going to be, and the one thing is also, Isaac, he needs one more goal to equal Shearer's Premier League season scoring record. So,
Oh
and he
wow,
likes to score against Arsenal, so he's on 23 at the moment. So yeah, he'll be motivated, I think, to get that. Newcastle will be motivated. They seem to like playing us. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. So do you have any predictions? What would you predict for the game, given the insights that you have?
I feel like we should be, because we're at home. Like, I feel like it should be like 3-1 at least to us. Like
Okay.
I after so much disappointment we've had, like I feel like they should put on a show for us and like just be like, yeah, this is the last home game of the season. Like secure that solid win and like
Yeah.
go forward.
Guarantee that second spot. Yeah, I mean I think that's what we all want.
Mm.
What we think might happen
Yeah.
is a different story. I think I predicted another draw. I think a 1-1. But I would take a win all day long. I don't care how we get it and all the rest of it. So we'll be doing it, and we'll be also playing in our lovely new home kit that was released this week. Did you
Yeah.
any thoughts? Do you like it? And how many versions of it are you buying?
I really love it. I don't know if I want the long sleeve version or the short sleeve version because, like, gosh, I already know who I'm going to get at the back, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So,
like,
but
oh,
it's a nice kit. It's a
yeah,
sort of a return to just the red and white, simple.
yeah. When I saw there was no blue, I was so happy. I saw that. I was just like, it just looks good.
Yeah. I'm asking for a friend whether buying both the short sleeve and long sleeve is a bit too much. So, I don't know. And someone suggested, well, the money I saved from not going to Munich for the Champions League final, I can put towards
that's
buying
reasonable enough.
buying a shirt or two. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure though. I'll go on Sunday because yeah, the armory is going to be absolutely
Going to be
rammed.
packed. Yeah.
Absolutely rammed. Well, look, there we go. Well, look, Sensi, thank you for coming on today, joining us today, telling us all about your experience uh, at the training day session, the open session. It sounded, as I said, sounded amazing. You've made
Yeah.
a lot of people very jealous, and
I'm sorry, guys.
no. So yeah,
Oh,
look, really happy for you, and really happy you got the chance to experience that, and nice to hear that we're serious, but also personable at the same time. So good stuff. Good to hear. So anyway, listeners, you can follow us on Threads and Blue Sky at the Grove AFC. The next show will be episode 100, which will be post Newcastle, pre Saints, last game of the season. And yeah, it'll be our century episode. And if you enjoy what you're hearing, like, subscribe, and on all that jazz. Come and find us online and have a chat. And there we go. So thank you, Sensi, for your time.
thank you for having me. Thank you, guys.
No worries. And look forward to seeing you on Sunday. And until the next time, come on, you Gunners.